Hey, Fred Minnick here, and I'm about to jump into some Old Forester Birthday Bourbon. Woo-hoo! Distilled in 2009. Giddy up. So, I think about like distilled in 2009. I didn't have kids then. I was really, making a gun for it in wine as well as bourbon at the same time. I was also writing about turf management and anything and any and every magazine that would hire me. I would write for them about weird shit. So I wrote a lot of stuff back in the day that no way in the world would I ever write about today. 2009 was a very different time in my life, and so it was also a moment of me getting better. Coming home from the war, and this is about when I was about to really turn the corner in terms of like all my therapy and all my effort to get better. My first book, Camera Boy, was about to come out, so a lot of things are connected to me. 2009. So anytime you see something where there's like an emotional connection to it, you're like, and so you try to like you don't want that to influence your review. Um so I'll try to block all those memories out, all those good times. But so here we go. This is a media sample here from Old Forester, their birthday bourbon. Back in 2009, actually, you would get full bottles. So there we go. If you were covering the whiskey industry professionally, they would send you full bottles instead of little samplers. But as the world got more popular for bourbon, you got fewer and fewer bottles and fewer samples. But that I don't really care about that. I really don't. I actually would prefer to buy all of the things that I taste and review, but it's impossible, and I'd also probably spend way too much money on it for these little bitty reviews. So a little sample like this does the trick. Okay. So my 4-point tasting will begin with the color, and that color is something else. Man, 12-year-old bourbon right there. That is some beautiful color. Look at that. Look at that. Just money right there. Yeah, I like that. That smells good. Oh, that smells so good. I'm almost afraid to taste this because it smells so good. This is what I want bourbon to smell like. Okay. So, one of the most difficult things for me to do is to smell something that's so complicated and then immediately talk about it to the camera. It is far easier for me to smell that, think about it, and write about it in 30 minutes. But what I'm telling you, why I'm telling you that is that there is so much going on in that little glass right there. There is so many aromatic properties just right up in that glass. There is not one single note that's jumping out. Instead, it's like cinnamon and cherry pie and like walking into like a French perfume store, a bakery. It's like all of these things are happening at once. There's not a single unwanted note that I am smelling in this. This smells like, in a word, this smells like heaven. When when I die and go through the pearly gates, hopefully I'm allowed access. Which maybe. I hope I at least have another smell of this. Wow, I don't. I'm afraid to taste it now because it's not going to taste as good as it smells, but we got to taste it. And this is part 3 of a 4-point tasting. Wow. My entire palate is tingling right now. There is notes of tobacco, cherries, fig, plums, peaches, various types of caramel, and just a cadre of spices. Just a beautiful, beautiful representation of Kentucky bourbon. And this is so much better than last year's birthday bourbon. And this is the best thing that I've had from Old Forester in a couple years. This is absolutely outstanding. Man. One more taste. On the second note, molasses, brown sugar, sugar cookie, toffee, and it's finishing back palate. So for me, that is all spice. And we're looking at kind of like a hatch chili, um, like some of the New Mexico style chilies, just penetrating back palate. Absolutely beautiful. Look, I know this is only a sampler, and it is a media sample, and I hope all the bottles that are out there are just as good as this one. But this is absolutely stunning, and I don't want this particular tasting to end. This is good. And I know I'm going to have to share it with my wife now because she's going to see this and she's going to be like, you better save me a sip. And that's what you do. You break out the good stuff with your best friend. And that's what I do every time with my wife. We sit down, we have some good bourbon. We got date night tomorrow. We're probably going to polish this one off. So, yeah, that's good. This makes me happy. And it makes me happy for a lot of reasons, but that's going to do it for this tasting. If you'd like to see more honest reviews, I don't always get as excited about them as I did on this one, unfortunately. I can't tell you that I just wasn't wowed, tickle pink on this one, but I was. Love it. Absolutely love it. And but hit that subscribe button if you want to see honest reviews. If you'd like to become a member, where the members got to see this tasting live in a members only live stream, click that join button, and you will get to see the tastings before anybody else, before they're edited, and you get to see me off camera to what the public sees. And they make fun of me most of the time, so it all works out in the end. But that's going to do it for this episode. If you be safe out there, no licking handrails, no licking trash cans, and remember, vodka sucks unless it's being used for hand sanitizer. Cheers, everybody.